y'all, I am going to make some Fathead pizza dough. There's recipes all over the place for Fathead pizza dough. I'm using the one by the Diet Doctor, and I will link their recipe down below. I'm gonna go ahead and make a bunch of Fathead individual sized pizzas and get them cooked and then frozen so that they can be pulled out and made during the week really, really easily. I'm also gonna turn some of them into like a pizza pocket type thing that Caroline can take in her lunches this week. So let's get going. I'm gonna pull you in so you can see better what we're doing. Mozzarella cheese and cream cheese, I've already put these in this bowl. I melted them together in the microwave. This took me about 1 minute and 15 seconds. Then you're gonna need almond flour, you're gonna need eggs, and you're gonna need a little bit of apple cider vinegar. 1 teaspoon, it says to do 2 teaspoons for the amount that I'm making. A nice thing about the Diet Doctor recipe, if you look at their recipe online, it'll multiply or subtract for you based on how many servings you want to make. That's helpful. I'm making 4 servings. 2 eggs into here. 2. Next thing is 1.5 cups of almond flour. Almond flour often is pretty clumpy, so I usually try and sift it. You're going to get your dough hook back on, lock it in place. See if we can get this to stir together for us with the dough hook. You want it to be completely integrated, and that wasn't really completely integrating it in my opinion. Dump our dough right out onto the parchment paper. This part I'm going to do with wet hands, so I usually put a little bowl of water right beside me. With my wet hands, I form this into a somewhat cohesive shape, and then I'm just going to cut it with a knife into 4 sections. And then I'm gonna go through those sections again. It's very sticky, that's normal, don't worry about it. And then what I do is I get my hands a little bit wet, but instead of water this time, we're gonna use olive oil or avocado oil. So you wanna rub your hands with that oil. Then you're gonna rub the ball with the oil a little bit and put it down. It's gonna help it from sticking, and that flavor is not a bad thing for pizza. So put it here between 2 pieces of parchment, and then you're just gonna roll it out. And just gently pull it back, and there you go. And you can just get a fresh piece of parchment out for the bottom every time that you're gonna make another pizza, because you're gonna cook it on this parchment. But the top, you can reuse the top layer. Preheat your oven at 400 degrees while you're doing this, so it will be ready for you. So with each one, remember to go through and kind of prick some holes in it with a fork. It's just gonna help it from puffing too much. The next step, y'all, is you're gonna melt a little bit of butter, and I put some of this garlic spread in it. You season however you want to. Some people put this on after they take it out, but I kind of like to put it on before so that it almost like cooks into the crust. We're gonna put them all in a 400-degree oven. There we go. The recipe from Diet Doctor says that it should take 10 to 15 minutes. I guess it probably depends on how thick your pizza is. I went relatively thin, so we're gonna check it in 10 minutes. All right, y'all, I started this process without you, but I just rolled it out just like I did for the little miniature pizzas, but I made it into a rectangle, and then I used my pizza cutter and went through it. I don't want a whole lot, I just want it for flavor. So I'm just gonna smear it on here, just like I did with the butter sauce for the last one. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is I took some pepperonis. This is pepperoni from Trader Joe's, and I cut it up really little instead of having the whole pepperonis, and we're just gonna spread this all out. Next, I'm just gonna take some mozzarella, and what I'm gonna do, y'all, is I'm gonna roll these up, almost like pinwheel style. If it starts to get sticky, just wet your hands again with a little bit of oil. I'm using the butter. This is that same butter mixture with the garlic in it, and if you had a basting brush, that would be ideal, but I can't find mine. And I'm just gonna use my hands, make sure that's all coated really well. And I'm gonna throw these in the oven for probably like 10 minutes. We'll see. If they need longer, I'll let you know. So now that these have cooled off, I'm just gonna stack them, keep them on the parchment paper that they're on, and stack them like this. And then you can put them in a baggie and put them in the freezer just like this. They'll stay separate, and when you're ready to make them, just take it out, put your toppings on it, and throw it under the broiler until it's all melted and ready to go, or bake it at 400 again until it's all ready to go. It doesn't really matter, but these are done, and it'll make a super easy dinner for the kids while I'm gone this week. So this one I spread out into a rectangle, and then I used a pizza cutter and made it into slices, and I put the marinara and the butter on it, and I put little pieces of pepperoni. And what I'm gonna do with this one, these are all just, I have never done before, but I'm just twisting it. And then I'm gonna put them over on this sheet and we'll see what happens. So both of these are out. These are the twists, the pepperoni twists that I made second, and then I did like little garlic knots, but you can't even tell that. And then these are the ones where I folded them over to make like little pizza pocket sticks. But these are so tasty. The garlic butter and the pepperoni baked into this is just really yummy. I'm super excited to eat this. That is really, really good, y'all.